Coach Wimp Sanderson joins us on the JohnstonRVCenter.com hotline. Coach joins us each week courtesy of the Rental Works division of Crane Works. Good morning, Coach. How are you?
Well, I was okay, but I lost my iPad. If anybody has a new iPad, they'll sell me. Have them call Rockstar. Or even a used one.
Okay.
I got to have an iPad.
How'd you lose it?
I don't know. I looked. How about this? 4 hours I looked in the house last night. 4 hours.
Wow. I hesitate to even go down this road. Really, I do. But you can. There's a locator on those things.
Oh, I know it. I've tried that.
Oh, you've tried the iPad locator?
I've called Siri. Is that any good?
No, I'm just saying. On your phone or on
iPad, where are you?
on your phone or on Annette's phone, there should be something that would indicate, if you've got it set up right, indicate where it is. But,
Well, I know I knew that, so I called Siri, but that didn't work.
Yeah,
nobody cares about that. They won't know about
No. I'm very interested in this because I think I just wanted a long-time office bet here on the show is that I thought Wimp would be the first person to bring the old school swap shop to the show here.
call Rockstar.
Yeah, I'm looking for a new iPad. Call Rockstar if you got an iPad for us. Do you remember those?
Rockstar will give you my phone number and call me.
Oh, well,
I'm not going to give your phone
Yeah,
number.
that's pretty easy.
Yeah, give it to him. I gotta have a cotton picking iPad.
Well, have you
Give
checked
it
your
to him.
car?
My first question goes to now. What's on the iPad?
Well, not anything bad, but I got a lot of sports stuff on there. Ain't nothing bad on there.
No.
They can look at it. I mean, they can look at my old and find it for me. I don't care.
Any old ball plays drawn up on there or anything like that? Maybe some of your banquet speeches, some of your jokes. Do you have a file with all your jokes in them on there?
No, not on my iPad. I got this somewhere else.
Now, if you lost Stephen Ross, the owner of the Miami Dolphins iPad, I'd help you look for it. I'd love to see what's potentially on
That
his.
could be interesting.
Yeah.
Coach, when Auburn is on their game, I do not know how you stop them.
Well, here's the case of all of it. Now I have to be very brief with this, I guess. But Auburn has more players and more deep. They're deeper inside than Alabama, and with more players that play hard, they've just got more players. And their skill level inside is deeper. Transition defense is as important as fast break offense. In fast break offense, you can go down and set the plays up if you don't get an easy basket. And in defense, if you don't get back defensively or slow getting back, then they're going to kill you. And when it's 52-22 inside the paint, and the dunks are coming fast and furious, even though you out-field goal them 9 from the three-point line, and they only make 5, you get killed. When they go to the free throw line and foul you, when you're on transition offense, it's a killer for you, and that's exactly what happened. Kessler's a good player. The lob pass to him is very good. There were just certainly some things you couldn't do much about. Auburn's got a very fine basketball team. They don't shoot good threes, and they're going to struggle with that before it's over. But last night they were absolutely terrific. Now, one of the things that Bruce did was he went to a very poor but very effective, let me put it that way, 2-3 zone. And the 2-3 zone stopped Alabama's penetration. And you've got 2 kids with 46 points. The rest of them, one other kid had 11. The rest of them were in single digits. And that's not enough. And when you've got 5 guys in double figures for Auburn, it's a big difference. Rebounding was somewhat different, but the transition defense and the fast breaks and it wasn't a point of out field goaling them from the 3. You got out field goal 9 if you're Auburn. But certainly Auburn deserved to win. They were very good.
Okay, this might be a ridiculous question. I think most people would agree this is the best front court in basketball with Kessler and Smith. Smith is obviously the probably most talented player in college basketball, probably goes number 1 overall. But as a former head coach, when you watch this team, who's the more important piece right now? Is it Kessler or Smith?
Green.
He was last night.
But I don't know. I think it's a toss-up there. If you can get the lob pass to Kessler in some games, he is. And if they really put the clamps down on Smith, then I would say Kessler is in some games. In other games, when they don't do a good job of guarding Smith, and Smith gets some offensive boards, which he doesn't get as many as Kessler, then Smith is. I think it varies from game to game. But when you have a kid like Green come in, the Johnson kid, he's a little bit selfish but very good. But when you got Johnson and Green coming in and getting 23 off the bench, then it just shows what I just got through saying, that they're deeper and they're better and they got better players that play hard. So that's the fact of it.
Wimp Sanderson is with us on the JohnstonRVCenter.com hotline. So how do you stop the dunks though? I mean, I know they're coming fast and furious. You can't tackle them. You can't knock them off the rim.
Very, very difficult. You got to put the biggest guy you possibly can. What you would like to do, if you could do it, would be to stop the dribbler as high as you possibly could, where the lob pass to him would not be effective. If you can stop the dribbler, Jim, a little bit higher out on the floor, and they're going to pick and roll him, which is very difficult. So you got to get over that screen. If they're going to pick and roll him, hurts because when they pick and roll him, and then you try to help a little bit, then that lob pass comes. So it's very difficult to do that. And really the only lob passes that really come are to Kessler, not many of them to Smith. He's more of a guy who wants to show you he can play outside, and he can.
So for those of us that don't know basketball, when you say pick them up high, like you across the midcourt line, or are you trying to okay, top of the circle, okay,
inside from the free throw line, Jim, to the top of the circle.
Okay, all right. So you don't try to press this team, the full length of the court and just go,
Well, you might try, you might try different things. You might try zoning them a little bit. Alabama doesn't fool zone much, but you might try some of that pressing. I don't think they're so fast and so quick, and the Green kid's quick. Johnson kid takes the basketball the hole very well.
See, I agree with you on the Wendell Green comment, and that was to me he is. You have a group of stars, but to me, when he shows up, that's a different level for that basketball team. That was a great insight by you.
Well, yeah, and too. Well, the home court, it wasn't a factor of officiating and anything. Where they just they would get fouled on the fast breaks, and they got the ball out and got it down quicker than Alabama did, and got those cheap baskets inside. Now, Quindley is terrific taking the ball to the basket, and when I say they went to a zone a little bit, that helped a little bit as far as him taking the ball to the basket because he wasn't able to penetrate that. And the zone really wasn't that good. I don't think Bruce uses it much. But, they're very effective. And then when they substitute fellas, they're substitute good players about as good as the ones they're starting. So they're playing 9 people. So, let's just face it, their basketball team has a deeper personnel than Alabama does. Alabama has some very good players. Shaq's got 5 threes yesterday or something, and he's very good, and Quinley is too, and those other kids are okay. But the big kid for Alabama is not quite in Kessler class.
The coach, Wimp Sanderson, joins us each week on the JohnstonRVCenter.com hotline. He does so courtesy of the Rental Works division of Craneworks. Up next for Alabama is Kentucky, and I mean that Kentucky team, they're 2 in the Ken Palm. Even though they lost to Auburn, a lot of the analytics say they're a better team than Auburn. So Alabama's got their handful again.
Yeah, I think their hands full. I think they have a good chance. I think Shishay, whatever his name is, a very good rebounder.
Yeah,
Oscar. Yeah, he's a very good rebounder. He's not going to score a lot. They shoot the ball very well on the perimeter, and I think they're very, very fast. They're quick and fast. They're a fast team. They'll be a little bit different. Alabama can beat them on the boards. And if they do so, then they'll stay right in the game with them and have a chance to beat them. So I think this is a very different kind of Kentucky team. It's a very quick team, very fast team, with a pretty good shooting team. When what's his name, Ty, whatever his name is,
Ty Washington,
didn't play against Auburn, that really hurt them in that game. It could have been the difference, may not have been. But it will be an interesting game, and I'm certainly not saying Alabama is going to win, but I think they've got a reasonable chance to. And Kentucky is very, very quick and very talented and very good. And so we're going to be interesting to see exactly what happens there. We have as of today, we have Auburn, Kentucky, Alabama, and Tennessee probably in the NCAA tournament. No doubt, Alabama can go win one more and go and get the NCAA tournament. I know LT doesn't think that, but he's wrong.
No,
wrong,
look, Coach,
wrong.
I think we all said this earlier. We believe the SEC is the best conference right now in college basketball. A lot of people believe that. I've been watching college basketball for 40 years, from the Big East to the ACC to the Big Ten. I can't remember a time where I could ever say that I felt like the SEC is the best conference in college basketball.
It was in the 80s.
Okay, that's what I was going to ask.
3 years in the 80s. You weren't born then, but
it was. But I mean, what were those years in the 80s?
Well, the years were tough, boy. You went on the road in the 80s, you couldn't win a game. It was against the rules. I mean, you had the thing going. I'm telling you right now, it was unbelievable. Kentucky was terrific. We were very, very good. Auburn, it was the 80s was a booger bear. I don't know. I don't want to compare teams, and I would say, okay, you're right. Because I think they go. I think one of the reasons is around the other parts of the country, their leagues are down a little bit. You don't talk about the ACC, LT, the way you used to, Duke, and then whoever, and then when you get to the Big 12, it was 6-4. The home team won every game in the except with the Kentucky Kansas game, and Big Ten is just okay. So I think you look at it like that. But the 80s, good grief from Gordo, it was hard.
Grief from Gordo.
Bobby points out, he says, tell Wimp that Siri might respond to him if he'll stop saying you gooberhead every time you say Siri.
No, I don't say that, but if I thought that was the cause of it, I wouldn't do that. Off the subject, we'll say this because tomorrow's sign day, today's sign day, whatever. Take a listen, you guys, when you get off the show, to the talk that Coach Saban made at the Senior Bowl last night.
Oh, yeah, we got that coming up. We've got the audio.
I think you will enjoy that because I think it goes against some of the things you believe that were best for college football and basketball, and I don't think they are right now. I don't think they're in the best frame of mind for college football and basketball.
Well, which part? Which part do you not?
Well, both of them. Especially NIL, where you end up with a situation where the money situation is pretty. And Alabama's benefiting from it, of course, because they're getting some players. But they're, as he said, he hadn't cheated getting players, and it's going to be that. And I think you'll enjoy. I didn't get to hear all of it, but I just think it'd be something that your show would enjoy listening to. And you guys might change your mind a little bit more than you usually are.
So you're still totally against NIL?
Yeah, I am.
Yeah, but you guys were paying players illegally back in the day.
No, we weren't paying players. We might Adolph Rupp may get them a sport coat. I ain't any money to pay any players.
I mean, it's the same thing. It's cars. It's houses. We heard a house.
You're so full of crap. Your eyes are brown.
So Hugh Durham didn't get Dominique Wilkins' mama house.
Well, I think they probably did something in some cases, but every one of them, LT, every one of them.
I'm not saying everyone deserves something.
Well, do what?
I'm not saying every athlete deserves something.
But
what are you saying, LT?
You've joked on the air with us before that you.
Let me tell you something. These two
players.
things are hurting athletics, they're hurting football, and they're hurting basketball, and they're not good for the game. I don't care what either one of you say. You got a radio show and you want to push it, and you can, but you're dead ass wrong.
He was in such a good mood. It's an internet show, too. He was in such a good mood until you two did
I'm just saying
this.
It's somewhat hypocritical that kids have always been paid, and now that you can actually somewhat legally pay them.
Okay, LT. That's fine. That's not true, but that's fine.
Okay.
I thought you'd said on the air before.
In some cases, it may be. One player may have gotten, I don't know, Hugh may have done something. I'm sure he did for somebody.
Barkley says you couldn't fit him in under the salary cap. That's what Barkley always says.
Well, Barkley's name will be on the back of someone's jersey.
I don't know what that means, but I mean, Barkley was one.
I got an idea what that means.
Come in, world.
Barkley was well worth it. I ought to fit him in. All right, the coach Wimp Sanderson joins us each week. He does so courtesy of the Rental Works division of Crane Works.
Well, certainly David and Rental Works, I appreciate them having me on. Crane Works is terrific, whether you have an at-home project coming up or a corporate construction job. You need to check out Rental Works, a division of Crane Works. They have everything from landscaping equipment. Check out their full fleet of Crane Works on craneworks.com. And thanks, David Upton, for having me on. Thank you guys for having me on. I hope you all have a good day.
So wait a second. Now, pineapple money to get that recruit. You told us a story about the pineapple.
That was Jim Neighbors.
Jim Neighbors helped you get a guy.
Well, Jim Neighbors didn't help me get it. Jim Neighbors was going to give Bobby Lee Hurt $8 an hour to cut sugar cane. And so I had to get Coach Bryant to call him and say, look, Alabama's recruiting this kid. And so when I went to Coach Bryant to ask him to call, he tried to call Jim, and Jim was on a ship in Australia. And so he tried to send whatever you send back then.
The telegram?
Tried to tell him to get off of him. I had Bobby Lee Hurt with a bucket of chicken in front of him at a CPA's office in Huntsville for 3 hours. I don't think I was the head coach. I was the assistant head coach. I guess I'd just gotten the job. When I got through with him and wore him out, he leaned up against the wall, and he said, "Coach, I'm still going to Hawaii. In fact, we've called them to come back here." And they were coming back. And so Bobby Lee Hurt, I got a big Sports Illustrated thing here where Sports Illustrated said we bought Bobby Lee Hurt a car. Bobby Lee Hurt worked for one of the football players' daddies, and it was a joke. It was the worst mess you've ever seen in your life. He had a little old buggy thing that he was driving home and back and forth. You couldn't have, it was unbelievable. I had a big I got it on my wall here that said Alabama basketball has now arrived. NCAA's come in here to look at them. And so,
I love that you have that on your wall.
I don't know. No, I didn't say it now arrived. I don't know what it is. I got it here. But anyway, we didn't do anything for Bobby Lee Hurt. Did everything we could. If we'd had to, we probably would have. But I didn't. We finally got him convinced through a lot of hard work and me just living up there with him. I start off recruiting Bobby Lee Hurt and English Watley when I'm assistant. Now I get the head job. Now I got to double up even more so because the other guy's got a better personality than I have, I guess. So anyway, I got to work, and that's the reason I worked my butt off when I got that job to make these guys be the kind of players they need to be. And they were at our reunion, by the way, and they were absolutely terrific. How about this one? We had our reunion the other day, 40 cotton-picking years, and every player came back.
Yeah, that's incredible.
That is incredible.
It's incredible.
It speaks highly of you.
Incredible.
Yeah, it speaks highly of you.
And except for Mike Davis, he had a game.
Well, yeah,
we're having this one this Saturday for the 1991 team, and it just amazed me, made me want to cry to see those guys. No, I'm not very emotional. You guys think I'm not. To see all those guys come back and hug each other after 40 cotton-picking years.
Yeah, that's incredible. That speaks highly of you and what you meant in their life. It really does.
We tried hard, and the one thing is important with your lives, with what you do with your kids, and what people that listen to our show do with their kids. You may mash your kids, and I mashed mine, and I made my players behave, and I mashed them, and they didn't like it. But the one thing they knew, I cared about them as people, and that is the key word. Your kids need to know that even though you're mashing them and they can't do things and they're young, you care about them and love them as people.
Well, we love you, Coach.
Okay, love y'all.
Bye.
Talk to you later.